you want to, like, I know we get on WWE a lot, right, for bad booking. We get on them a lot for bad booking. Johnny Gargano is someone who can never complain about how he has been booked, like
No, no,
on WWE, NXT, whatever TV. It's all WWE TV. So he cannot complain so far about how he's been booked. This dude had the best matches, like Tommaso versus Ciampa, rivalry of the century. Like, of the century. I don't care. Of the past 100 years, I don't care. Best storytelling there's been in wrestling in a very long time. And best matches, some of the best matches in WWE history. Tommaso versus Ciampa, street fight. Tommaso versus Ciampa in Chicago. This dude has been booked immaculately for his entire run. He's been a top guy or at least catching up to that top guy status for his entire run. And, I think that actually gives him more value as a free agent because people know what he can do. People know what Johnny Wrestling means. People know that Johnny Wrestling means you're going to get a great match every single time he goes out there and wrestles. You're going to get some fiery babyface heat, and the crowd's going to be with him the entire way. It doesn't matter if he's heel or face. The crowd's going to be with him because he's Johnny freaking Wrestling. But, yeah, and then that's what I think makes this decision pretty easy as far as exploring his options because if you're going to be on WWE TV, likely knowing what the result's going to be, look, we don't know. He could end up being a world champion one day. Who knows?
Good.
Stranger things have happened. But what we do know, it's going to be a tougher hill getting to the top for him in WWE main roster than it would be elsewhere. But yeah, that's why I'm more so inclined to say that he's probably going to seek refuge, lack of a better term, elsewhere. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of how I feel. Like, I totally agree with everything you said. Gargano and Ciampa, 1, 2, and 3, all of them amazing matches. Gargano and Ciampa. I said it right. Great matches. But it's just one of those things where, like, unfortunately, the way Raw is set up, the way SmackDown is set up, and it shouldn't be this way. But someone Gargano's size, it doesn't really fit in the way they market their wrestlers and the way they market their entertainers. You wouldn't see, especially nowadays, see anybody quite his size, win a championship or win the Universal title or anything like that. I mean, we know what Vince likes. We know the blueprint for Vince's guys: big, buff,
beefy,
some beefy guys. Some of them athletic, some of them not. Like, it's just kind of how it is, unfortunately. And if you're lucky enough to get a championship and you are the size of Gargano, size of Ciampa, size of Finn Balor, size of Shawn Michaels, size of Perfect, even though Perfect was probably one of the biggest Intercontinental champions he's had, you're typically a Intercontinental champion. And that's kind of how it is. It doesn't make it right, doesn't make it fair, but that's just how it is. And honestly, I think if that's the case, if he's not going to stay on NXT, I honestly think he's going to take his ball and go home. Well, not home, but to another place.
Yeah, I agree with you, and we'll kind of talk about this more so in our NXT War Games preview. But I think that the reason that Johnny Gargano, no matter what, even if he re-signs with WWE, no matter what, he doesn't have a future in NXT. I don't think he has a future in NXT at all because NXT's not the NXT that Johnny Gargano led, the NXT that Johnny Gargano had these great matches in, these great feuds in. It's gone. It's gone. It is not the same NXT at all. And I think people need to realize that. There are a lot of people who are still defending, like, oh, it's still going to have the edge. It's still going to have, like, no, it's a different product. Some people like it. Mazel tov to them. I think there are elements of it that are actually pretty decent and good. And I think we're kind of seeing, like, this the struggle, I guess, between the old NXT and the real NXT and then current NXT kind of playing out in War Games, which again we'll talk about. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.